Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is on the down this particular week, mainly because of geopolitical crisis with the Israeli and Iran war that is ongoing. But I do personally think, just from a technical perspective, that we were actually very much due a correction in the market anyway, following extreme greed and euphoria, and also majorly overbought RSI levels across many different indexes and coins. Now we can see Bitcoin is chilling at $62.1 thousand. We could still see a bit more bearish movement towards the downside, but overall I think, this is a moment where I like to kind of take a breather, sit back and go through different coins that I believe could go up in price. And the way I start doing that, the way I start navigating with this process, is I always reflect on the BLX chart. I try to get an idea of where Bitcoin is at the moment on this logarithmic regression. You can see it's kind of tumbled down on 3 weeks straight. We're not yet at the 20-day moving average. And what I will do then is head over to CoinMarketCap, just as we can see right here. And I'm trying to navigate now through these coins that have dipped quite a lot over the 7-day period. Coins that of course have a lot of technical and fundamental value. So we're looking in this video at 5 coins I'm looking at buying. I may even buy some on screen if I see the right sort of signals telling me to do so. So just straight looking here, I mean, there's probably tons of coins that you guys know about. For example, we've got Bonk, that's down 35% in a week. EOS down 33%. Decentraland Mana is down 31% over a week. So this is where people kind of can utilize this opportunity in the market, this sort of correction, to get in on these coins, on these projects that you missed out on the original pump on. For example, if we just look at Gala Games over here, if we look at the last month, it was holding very steady at 58 cents. If we go to the last year, there was, of course, the opportunity to get in at 50 cents. It did then pump up to 78 cents. It's now back down to this region here. So if you missed that initial first pump, this is a chance to get back in at the same price level before the pump occurred. But it's always speculation. We don't know if Gala will come down to 30 cents before going back up. And we don't know, the future, what that entails anyway. But what we can do is still use this data to help us do so. Now, for example, we can see when I looked at the top of here, Audi was the largest corrector over the 7 days. And you can see Audi is at $42. Over the last month, it did race up to $76. So we can see this is quite a big correction. It's sitting at a very critical level of support. If it does lose the support level, it could tumble back down to $25. So what I then do is go to look at Audi. And I'm looking for signals. I'm looking for reasons to buy this coin now. So we're on TradingView. We're looking, at what could potentially happen next. Now, what we know is there really is not a lot of support between $40 and basically $27. This sort of region here is very, very much, if it falls, loses $39 support, we're probably going to see a massive drop in price for this particular token. And I expect that could happen. But we are getting a lot of buying pressure here. Now, what I tend to look for when I'm on the charts, I try to keep it as simple as possible because sometimes simplicity is key, but I'm using indicators that I previously flagged up. And you could just look at the RSI, for example, with these times where the relative strength index is dropping down to like 32. If we actually have a look at these areas where it is happening and we just draw a vertical line on each time, for example, these coins are hitting those low RSI levels. We can see it's just done it there. It's also done it over, very recently it came back down to here. Also did it again over there. So there was 2 opportunities to potentially buy in on these lower RSI levels. So if we reflect back on what this can potentially bring in terms of profit potential, first one was, of course, a very lavish looking 89% if you're buying those very low RSI levels. The second one was a 45% increase. The third one offered, if you were very quick, a 27%. The fourth one offered a 7%. So we are in that downward spiral at the moment. We are seeing the RSI in fear as opposed to greed. And let's also just imagine that you bought the greed. Let's imagine over here in this particular scenario, you bought the extreme greed on the RSI. What would have actually happened? You would have bought here, you'd have had a little upside potential, but then it did, in turn come back down in price. So if you are looking to catch a dip and dollar cost average in, it always makes sense for me to be buying these low RSIs on the 4-hour and also on the daily time frame. So now if we go back to crypto CMC, we can see AthA 41% on the correction side of things. Now, what this tempts me to do is to, of course, have a look at AthA, see what's going on. What's the supply? 9.5% total supply, $1.2 billion market cap. We can see it's recently come up to $1. Was it 47 or something like that? About 150. It's down to 88 cents. So it's had a major correction, had a very strong run, but overall, is this another area or point of interest for us? So what we can do is now check out AthA, have a look at AthA, and see how it's performing. Look for those indicators the same way. And if I see something that, for me, looks like, okay, I'm going to buy this, I think this looks like a good buy, then I will end up grabbing some of the token. Now, we don't have much historical data for this particular coin, to be fair, so it is a riskier one. In fact, we barely have any historical data, but if you were to have bought this oversold position, let's imagine you did buy the oversold position, or even this almost oversold position. I don't want to say it's fully oversold position, but there were two oversold positions that you could potentially get into just by looking at this RSI. And I suppose you could also assume there was a third one that did just recently happen right here. So now we can see there's three possibilities. The first possibility provided some upside potential of around 22%. The next one has provided some upside of 18%, but in turn, we're still in a downtrend. So you can see how this doesn't work every single time. It's not for the short playing. It is for the long-term hold. So we can see we are in a macro falling wedge, and this is typically a bullish reversal pattern. And if we look at the previous support levels from over here, AthA is actually sitting directly on a key area of support. So it's interesting. This one is interesting. I do think we will get another pump to the upside because I think this won't go down too much lower, and it looks decent. If anything, if you bought at the top here at $1.50, or you were thinking about it, well, you can now buy the same token with the same fundamentals, the same value at 40% discount. So I may even grab a small bag of AthA and just see how it goes. I might just grab $1,000 worth of AthA for the sake of this video, and just to test this particular theory. And what I may even do is just quickly grab like a Google Doc very quickly whilst we're making this video, and we're gonna on paper just I'm gonna put in right now that we bought $1,000 of ENA at 0.87, and we'll reflect on this in a few days or something and see if this theory could potentially work. So maybe I won't buy it right now on screen because I want to keep most of my liquidity in the futures, but we've bought 1,000 ENA, theoretically at 0.87. We're going on the signal. We're going on that RSI signal, right? Now let's look for another one. The other one I identified was AthA. I think this is down quite significantly at the moment from these very sort of low to mid-range $100 regions. So we're going to look at AthA next as well and apply the same theory and see if we can identify an area of which it would have been a good region to buy in. So firstly, daily time frame. We can see over here on the daily time frame that we did actually just hit oversold on the RSI, and it's been a very long time since we've hit that oversold region on the RSI. In fact, it's been 74 days, which is why for me this is an accumulate region. This is not a sell region. This is an accumulation zone. So AthA, let's imagine, got so much messy charts over here, sorry about that. Let's imagine this is where we're buying that fear, and we're gonna jot in that we just bought $1,000 worth of AthA at 84.28. Actually, you know what? I think AthA is a solid project, so I'm actually going to buy some of it. I'm going to quickly bring up MEXC for you guys. I'm going to go long on it, and that's seriously risky. I would not at all recommend doing this, but I'm just going to throw in a long position for you guys at very low leverage, because I think that we could potentially see a flash here, a good bounce here for AthA. So we're going to go $2,000 in. Which is effectively only using $1,000 of margin. Maybe we'll increase that a little bit to $2,000 of margin. We're just going to open this on a market, guys. We're going to open it on a market long and just see what freaking happens. Okay, this is all speculation. Could go extremely south. Do not copy this. Now, I personally believe that we could see AthA climb back up. Look at that symmetrical triangle. Look at that support that we're building. Look at the tension between support threshold, converging resistance, converging support. We could possibly break out of this, okay? And that's what I'm hoping to see here for AthA. It's a big breakout, and if I get to take some profits over here at 16% up, that's 32% on my 2x leverage trade. which would be like around $600 gains. So I think it could happen. So we've applied the theory now to AthA as well. Now we're going to do it to another one, which is Optimism. Coin I'm extremely bullish on. Look, 1 month ago, this was $4. It's now just $2.21. $2.21 for Optimism, and we're not even at the top of the bull run. So let's check out what's going on with Optimism over here. Going to quickly have a very quick look. We can see we did blip into oversold territory. It's happened a few times over the last few days or weeks. So it has happened a few times, but if we move to that daily, it's going to give us more significant insight. We can see that OP has not been oversold on the daily time frame since here. This oversold. So it's been 308 days since OP has come down this low. So for me, it's another buy signal. Yes, I've missed $1.70, but you can see how these daily RSIs do seriously help you dollar cost average in. So we're going to buy $1,000 worth at $2.20 as well. So let's speculate. $1,000 worth of OP at $2.20. And that's what we are now speculating. And we'll even go here and maybe we'll chuck in a very, very safe, what do you want to call it? A very safe long position. Sorry guys, I'm very tired, I'm not going to lie. Very safe long position on a market order on 2x leverage. So we're going to go, maybe we'll do $4,000 again, and we're just going to open this long and see what happens. We could go very, very south, but we could also bounce to the upside. So OP is in. Ideally, I would like to see a retest of around $2.50 from this region. Looking at the 4 hours, it's looking quite good. We've got some horizontal support. We've identified that we're low on the RSI. We're still in a bull market, so overall the trend should be up, and it's happening in cycles. So Optimism is another one that I'm looking at. I can't really resist this when I look at the charts. That's a big opportunity for me to get back into a project that I like. This is closer to its fair value, so this makes sense for me. Another coin we're going to look at very quickly, the last one is SAY token, $0.49 as of today. And when we look at the SAY charts, I did recently buy some actually at like 45 cents. This is my DCA region, shall I say. So it actually kicks in at 46 cents. So we're just a little bit over on my DCA region. But I'm going to stay loyal to this. And when we again look at that RSI, it did hit oversold at 41 cents on the daily. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that RSI right there. It has not been there for 179 days. So why buy the tops when you can buy the bottoms and just hold? So that's how I'm looking at it on this particular occasion. I'm going to end up probably buying into some more SAY as well, because I do believe that it should pump back up to the upside. Not exactly sure what the target is, probably about 57 cents, something like that. But yeah, this could also be another one to potentially look at here at this particular price level. Again, huge symmetrical triangle. Could go down, could go up. The risk is massive. However, I think for some reason we could see the markets bounce green next week. So I'm also going to enter a risky position on SAY as well, because I personally think we might see SAY go up in price. So there's another 1.5k on margin on a 2x low leverage trade, and we put them on now. So I think SAY could come up. If we look at SAY, historically it's hit $1. It's now at 50 cents. It's at 50 cents. So this is all fun. This is all dollar cost average season now. And I have hit my DCA threshold. Entry point 2 would be way lower, like down here and here. But I highly doubt we'll see those prices again in this particular bull market. But I can save these prices for the future bear market. So I've still got those saved. So there's 5 coins, guys, in theory, that I am looking at. And yeah, this is the crypto crash, and this is how I tend to buy the dip overall. And so yeah, we bought SAY. Let's speculate. We bought. Let's say we aped in at $3,000 worth of SAY at 0.49. So we also bought some SAY at $0.49 as well. So this is what we've done. We're going to reflect on this in maybe a week's time and see exactly where we are. See if we got a bounce, if things went bullish, if they didn't go bullish. Now guys, if you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel. If you want trading signals, early insights to coins that could make you some big gains in your portfolio, also consider becoming a Patreon. Over 700 of you guys now. Become a crypto champion or a crypto legend to unlock all of these fantastic benefits to help you trade in here, in the crypto markets, in my Discord. And you'll get all the early insights to all the, the memes, the gems, the DEX launches before everyone else. The link is down below. And if you are new here, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and let me know what your method of dollar cost averaging is in these crypto markets, because I'm very curious to find out what you think is the best strategy. See you soon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.